Pastor Mark, you've coined the phrase that Culpeper is the cradle of religious freedom for the world. Can you tell us about that?
Well, Culpeper's an unusual town, an uncommon town, Randy. Uh, our First Amendment came right out of Culpeper. And, if we're known for anything, our town ought to be known that, our First Amendment, religious freedom, came right out of Culpeper, Virginia. And if you go back and study history in the 1770s, every state in our union at that time, all 13 states had their religious, had their own church, and they had this church state. And in Virginia, it was the Anglican Church of Virginia. You couldn't marry, bury, preach a sermon. You couldn't start a church or anything unless you were ordained through the Anglican Church of Virginia. And so it was very incumbent, because you had to go all the way to Williamsburg to be licensed. You could only go twice a year. It was just a lot of bureaucracy. Now, I don't know if the men that really challenged this couldn't go get a license, or just it wasn't the appropriate time or whatever, but they began to preach, and they began to lock them up in Culpeper. John Leland was the pastor, or a young man that wanted to start a church and pastor, and they locked him up. And then a young politician named James Madison heard about it. They said, "We'll get you elected to the House of Burgesses. You give us a freedom of religious law." And that's how we got our First Amendment. It came right out of Culpeper County. Now, the amazing thing about that, Randy, if you think about it, all of the religious freedom in our nation and around the world came out of our little community right here in Culpeper, because a few people decided, hey, we're going to do what's right. And they wanted to give them religious tolerance, and they said, no, we want religious freedom. And we've got to help people, Christians, be set free so they can serve God.